It's time for match start, brought to you by Samsung OLED. Lotus going to be starting off our match here today between Cloud9 and Loud. See what C9 have cooking up for us here with the new guy in the roster.
That's a lot of damage onto Zelsis early. He'll back away, but the strong part of this play is 3 players walking up B. The lurker will be cut off towards A, so if he rotates back, it's trouble for Luxio.
Or he could be the decisive factor. It's actually Darker with 3 kills out of nowhere. That was excellent from the Vice player. Now Loud should have themselves an open A site.
Yeah, they got that damage and immediately reacted, suspicious of the walk through B. With Luxio's lurk towards A, the site is secure and just a low HP Zelsis.
You love to see that Sheriff come up big in a pistol round. Darker there, 3 shots, 3 kills. And Zelsis, remember, he was chipped away at the beginning of the round. He's the first player on Cloud9 to take damage, so he finds himself in a tough spot on limited HP. Player might not have been looking at him. That could have been a chance if he'd hit those first shots against Erde, and he does! Back-to-back 3Ks, but it's Zelsis on top. Now Luxio, last alive. He won't let it happen. The round still belongs to Loud.
Zelsis has been looking scary these last 2 weeks. He was really a beast. Map 1 against MIBR, and here again stepping up with that 3K. Fortunately for him, that dink that he took at the very beginning of the round, not enough to win it. Those shots were beautiful and Darker as well, though. You look at Loud, and I think the big questions come down to the leadership, to the macro, how they want to play that. Obviously having their assistant coach sub in, he's IGLing. Now you're changing him out in the middle of the season for the player you've been waiting for, but haven't had there to play with, to scrim with, and trying to figure out a lot really quickly.
Oh, so much young talent on the roster. Don't have a lot of time to settle into the stage, but Darker has made a home for himself over towards this C site with another quick kill. Same for Luxio, that Marshall in hand. No Zeppa is stuck on rubble here, and he's not wasting any time either. We've had quite a few 3Ks already, Mimi.
Yeah, tallying him up in these first couple rounds. And this is going to be a real clean one as Darker's running it down for a bit more damage. That's a Visal online for round 3. Pretty big win for Loud.
You almost never see that online so early, especially on the attacking side.
Yeah. Not ready yet. So first couple rounds, we saw that aggressive look from C9 that got absolutely cut down. And this one more of a formality, as C9 players are just looking for their own picks and just won every duel. I do expect that kind of activity to be a continued theme for C9. With Double Duelist, you don't have a ton of active info unless you're pushing for it and you're proactively taking space. So a lot of the onus for success on defense has to come to Zeppa and Oxy, this time over towards C.
Yeah, Loud have bought up a little bit into this round. 3 rifles to work with. Zeppa, though, with quick satchel, boosted up, and that'll be the Steel Garden. Round 3 coming online. The spam for Erde's first kill here on the VCT stage will get Loud off to a fantastic start.
That was a combo attempt with the haunt from Jack, trying to send in that paranoia to not let it get broken and spam through the smoke. But Loud were wise to it, break the haunt, spam them down, and now they're in a great position on this bonus.
C9 still have some control over the map. There was Viswall on B, so they're not so worried about Loud being in there already. Oxy's also repositioned there to receive these 4 members of Loud. They're making themselves known. Prowler as well. Zoxy gives up his own position. That paranoia sends him back into the smoke, but he wants in. He wants that fight, and it's misguided from him. Verdi had been isolated on the left side of the wall, but comes up clutch to get his team this site.
It's one of those plays you have to make, but losing it now means this retake so difficult.
Jack now for his own kill. And the rest of Cloud9 trying to make a go at this. Loud have fully retreated back into main. Spike in a good position for them, though. Right now, Vic may be waiting for that smoke to refresh. The dark cover comes down, but Darker has been waiting for it still. Vic gets a good angle, but needs more. Plenty more where that came from if he's going to win this round. And it won't be there. Kaunzine to finish it off.
Yeah, bonus round 1 there for Loud. Really good start to the series from them. And it comes down to that failed play early in the round from Cloud9. Going for this hard commit, double satchel up with the haunt, and as soon as that's gone, I don't even think the Steel Garden was the main factor in that. It was just that the util missed out, and that Zeppa, I think, got bullet tagged and couldn't quite drop away in time before that spam connected.
I think the idea there is you boost up inside of the smoke, and then there's a haunt that you can then get the spam shots through once the reveal comes in,
yeah.
But out of the fight.
Yeah, he's good with these scopes, likes buying it on pretty much any variant. Martial Outlaw.
We'll come back.
C9 to put together a plan now. Full utility, ready to be sent out as Luke Show pops in front of the dark cover. Jack just left in the open while C9 were breaking the door.
Yeah, cool call to contact there instead of full sending. Gives that pick to Luke Show as Cloud9 thought there was nothing here. They were looking to just go off noise.
Yeah, tough start for the new kid on the block in Jack. And C9 reposition back towards B now. They have no forward information anywhere on the map. Even Zelsis, because he's got the Bucky, can't take that line on Mound. So it's a full gamble as C9 lean into the C side.
The gamble's looking pretty good. Vice Util here, Loud walking this direction. These are the pieces of utility, the weapons you would want to make an attempt of it.
We'll see. Still Thorns on the ground. And Kalanzine was trying to sell some presence over towards the A side, but I'm not sure that he doesn't even know that went down. Here comes the fight. Bucky's online for Cloud9. This is their chance to get back into the round, not to be had. The first kill goes Luke Show's way. Cloud9 sticking around on this side, but Vic is under pressure now as the rest of Loud move in towards him. Darker again finds his shot.
One enemy remaining.
As clearing this angle, the biggest challenge yet for Loud. Oxy taking his time. But in the 1-on-2 now. Loud are working together. And now Oxy trying to escape. He gets peppered down to 15 HP on the retreat. That should be an easy enough plant.
There's guns down, but he has no way to get him.
No, they're way over on the site. Erde was patrolling it, and Erde will win the round.
Yeah, good job. You even saw that, I think it was Erde pinging that gun on the ground to make sure it wasn't a rifle he could pick up. Once they know he's stuck with the Bucky, you just hold that angle, and there's literally no shot he can win. I want to talk about Luke Show, though. He's flying this Viper like he is still on chamber. Just contacting into angles, completely confident, and you know, there's a risk to that. If you're not instant, you just lose.
And he's now upgraded into the op, so now that there's heavy armors for C9, he might go for the same exact play on A.
This guy's crazy. If he gets bogged down by Util, there's basically no way out, but he's so confident.
Last time was a contact play. It's the same look this time, but there's better utility from C9, and Vic follows it up with the quick teleport. So Loud will halt for the moment.
He can still look to just hold outside with that operator. Wait as his team works back in.
I'm impressed with how active Loud's lurkers have been. Both Luke Show and Dark are the top performers in this match, but also just taking space on their own.
To be fair, Cloud9 hasn't much conditioned posting players on those angles outside of early, faster plays.
I've seen people up into rubble, but Seaside has definitely been passive. Zelsis just hanging out, waiting for Loud to actually come into the site before he takes a fight.
Darker's already heard this utility. Knows that there's that standard Vice setup on C.
Pretty similar to last round when this Prowler comes in, although this time Luke Show sticks around on A. A pick could be big, but Zelsis drops over on C, and that's no more Vi's utility left to play with. C9 have some members here. Verdi realizes it. There's a lock down this angle to slide on forward. Nice play from him. And the rest of Loud obliterate Bend. Seaside has been paper in the eyes of Loud.
You're playing a passive weak side like this, you just cannot give away those picks. Zelsis got caught on a jiggle, and that was basically already the round for C9. Site is basically impossible to hold without Vice utility when there's a Neon going up against you.
Pretty crazy round, because Loud weren't even overcommitted onto C. They just had 3 guys hanging out there while they were trying to re-clear a little bit of rubble. But it's just that quick kill from Verdi and then him snapping into that space to get the second that takes the round.
Yeah, once they have money, I would love to see C9 buy an op. I think that Loud is getting away with murder here, being allowed to just contact into this many angles and get opening picks.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 rounds that they've won, we're now coming up on 5, have just come off of someone contacting into space, getting a pick on someone unsuspecting.
I'm just not sure if they're ever going to have the money, right? Because C9, they keep buying down to 0.
Let me tell you about a cool new op that's less than 2,000 credits. It's called The Judge.
Whoa, that seems pretty good.
Yeah.
You just have to be like right next to the person. A bit less effective, perhaps.
It works well on C, and if you can get rubble control on it.
Yeah, because the thing is C9 keep going for these half buys on the ecos. I think that's been stopping their options to actually pick up the operator when they actually have the buy rounds.
They're playing for an orb for this ult, so Loud might look to contest more heavily.
C9 have been 4 players on A the last 3 rounds in a row as they run it back here. This time, though, Verdi is all the way up.
I like that a lot from Loud. Recognize that ult orb is a win condition for C9 and look to heavily contest it.
And at the same time, Vic is now the C player, up into Mound. For the first time, C9 doing something proactive since that round 3, but it's a Sheriff versus the Op.
Well, we're 5 for 6 now with Luke Show just walking on an extremity and getting an opener.
I swear, the lurkers of Loud are so aggressive. It's really fun to watch. The stun might be the problem for Darker as he falls, but look at his team. They own both B and C in exchange.
Honest question, have we even seen a Neon opening pick from the attack side? I don't think so. I think literally every round has been these extremity players.
I want to say last round we actually got the C kill because Darker didn't get that kill, or Luke Show didn't get the kill on A early. Maybe mistaken.
Either way, it's been crazy how they're getting these kills. And
yeah, the
look
map
at this,
control
Verdi just walking behind.
That's just silly. And no one looking at him. How many more will Verdi find? Jack turns around to deal with the duelist. It's a 2-on-3. Jack just 1 away from the Nightfall. With the operator patrolling and with so little time remaining, Zeppa would really have to turn up the heat to make a shot at this one. And as he has to hunt down that final kill, he realizes there's just no time left.
Better chance for Cloud9 there. It started as just that half buy, but they recovered some weapons. Still, it just keeps coming down to Luke Show and to Darker and how much they're doing. Here's that opener.
Yeah.
Again, contacting in with the op, and then a second he does that on the other side. Darker is taking that presence and looking for a fight of zone.
And I love seeing this because I actually think something that's been holding back some teams in Americas on Lotus is how passive their lurkers have been playing. Like, we've seen a lot of teams playing just full containment, never actually stepping into the space.
And that's because the comp teams they're playing right now are really scary for active re-clears, right, with that neon, things like that. But I just respect the confidence a lot from Loud to go for these plays.
Oh, yeah. And now matching C9 with a fight on Mound. Throw down in a dark cover to break the one-way. But I think Loud realized that all of a sudden the util patterns have changed. There's got to be people from C9 behind that.
And so they contact back towards A. Luke Show, as always, posts aggressive, no util needed to get him on this line.
By the way, Loud have 5 ultimates available. Darker already has a second Steel Garden ready to go on round 7 of the half. He has been tearing it up. And now the Nightfall to catch out the enemy Vise. Zelsis a bit isolated on site, but now C9 with a Nightfall of their own will bring in some support. And a Steel Garden as well. Verdi in front of it though, will take down the Vise. But things have stunted for a moment. Now Zeppa, oh, the showstopper not gonna connect on anything. He is inside of the smoke, Shorty in hand for a kill. And now some control over Tree. This round is uncomfortable from Loud. C9 have boxed them in, and Zeppa with 3 kills already. Puts a spike down. All of a sudden, Luke Show steps forward to knock out Vic, and it's Zeppa caught in a one-on-one. Needs the ace to win the round. With only 25 seconds remaining, he chooses to wait right on the other side of this door. Pops out from Tree. That's a good clear from Luke Show.
10 seconds left.
Has to commit to the plant.
Spike planted.
Zeppa's quick back in here. Zeppa needs an ace to stop this map running away, and he will find it. Excellent work from Zeppa. The only factor for Cloud9 in that round is him, and he delivers.
Set that round to Looney Tunes music, watch it back, because what the hell was the positioning in this one? Okay, there's like 4 different ultimates used into it, and through that chaos, Zeppa makes the decision to double satchel into Tree. He misses the ult, but while his primary is taken away, gets a kill with the Shorty. And while everyone is trying to fight his teammates who are flooding in, he's just walking around, picking Loud off one by one. It was a ridiculous round, but it was a step up you needed from this man who's finally back on his raise.
And now winning this round, finally the operator comes into play. Oxy picks it up. The fight moves back onto A. Loud slide over to Rubble. And those shots exchanged. Oxy gets tagged up by it. will fall back up the rope.
So no harm, no foul for either Opper. Zeppa looking confident now. He'll step back into front B.
C9 have abandoned the C site, just leaving the Vise util there. Instead, really stacking into the B site. They're anticipating a pivot back into B. At the same time, Loud to work their way up into tree.
The Op is still here.
Oh, Luke Show steps out early behind the wall. Wanted to take that duel, this time shut out of it. And now Loud forced into this A site without Luke Show. Some smokes to guide their path into the site now. And a drop down from Oxy. A second kill with the operator. Finding his way back into this map as Erde jumps up the rope. And now Oxy has nowhere left to go. Erde with a huge play. And Darker as well. This round is looking all C9s. But the rookie has turned it around for Loud. And Darker delivers as well, 7-1 to Loud.
Such a great play there from Erde. This was every win condition getting hit for C9. They finally had an operator. They finally had an opening pick. And onto the player who's been the most dangerous. But this play, TPing up into the smoke, taking a one-on-one against Jack, and following through to punish Oxy, brought them back in control. First big play for the man we've been waiting months to get to watch on this stage. Cloud9 here to fight for a lobby control. Is just another one of these light buys from them. It's Luke Show. He's always here, always posted.
Oh man, just rips Oxy's head off. And he's on his own. Sticking around for a little bit more. He's crazy for that one. And at the same time over on this C site, Zelsis cannot find any way to get out of there.
It doesn't really matter that he dies in the end. Getting 2 with the Outlaws, fantastic. Lets his team get a free site, and they flip the map to plant for CT.
Yeah, quick calling there. Just turn this round on its head. And so again, another round where Loud see this early aggression from C9. Blitz their way into the C site.
I don't think there's been a round where any of these aggressive C9 looks have actually netted them practically anything.
No.
It goes all the way back to the pistol, to the bonus round. Both of those came down to aggressive plays that were stunted. This one, sure, it was just an anti-eco, but it's definitely been a theme of Loud just having 1 or 2 extremity players that are somehow defeating the strong side push from C9.
Yeah, it's literally just Luke Show almost every time. Yeah. Dark had a couple of rounds as well.
And I think a lot of it, honestly, is just execution of not getting these trades, these fights that C9 need to get. I think that fighting into these extremity players and pushing them off is what you have to do against a team who's just contacting both sides of the map with no help. Like, Viper should not be allowed to be alone taking fights A, but he's getting away with it anyway.
And at a certain point you ask, well, if he just keeps getting away with it, we can't figure out how to get these details right. Do we abort mission? Go for something else? C9 are committing 1 fewer member over to the A site this time around. Vic playing on to C.
Yeah, you might just start to look towards split. This is the must-win round, though, if you want any chance left in Lotus.
Thought 2 rounds ago might have been the must-win round. But this one certainly delivers as well. Zeppa's just 1 away from the showstopper, now has it online. But again, Zelsis is just destroyed on this site. He had Vic with him, but Vic still hasn't seen a member. And now Erde's jumping into his periphery.
Look at how separated those players ended up. 2 there, and they're not really complimenting each other at all.
The paranoia just destroyed them on the entry.
Yeah, and the way Verdi's pathing as well, he's going the low route to take these fights, wrapping around as those players run back from the paranoia, he's getting the kill.
So that was your must-win round, right?
Yeah.
So is round 11 now the must-win round?
Yep,
or?
New must-win round just dropped for Cloud9.
Ouch.
Turns out it's actually every round henceforth.
This is not the way people were expecting this map to start out, with C9 taking down favorites in MIBR last weekend. Now trailing 9-1 once this spike ticks away. And Luke Show's not even gonna make C9 comfortably escape here with these 2 rifles.
Yeah, can they deny it? Luke Show will certainly try. And
oh my, he's so quick. Luke Show is...
He's gross.
He's gross.
He's real gross. Here's that pathing again. Paranoia, one side Celsius is trying to back away, but the attacking Thorns keep him stuck in as the Neon scales. And poor Vic got caught out as well. Really great stuff from Loud. I was listening to the C9 podcast prepping for this game, and Oxy said that he felt like he either starts hot and takes over games and destroys everyone, or starts slow and feels like they can't get anything done. And he couldn't really place why. This certainly feels like such a different team than the one last week against MIBR.
I think a lot of that is Oxy getting shut down early in the rounds.
Yes.
Like, just the anchors have been stopping him from getting much accomplished. So finally something different from C9. They take mound space, now open the door, step up for a potential fight on B.
Loud have like 5 players in spawn just waiting for a push though.
Yeah, now go for the re-clear on the C player. Reading C9 like a book at present. And even tapping the door there, seeing if there was going to be some kind of a trap play set up from C9.
And look at the rotates.
God, they are dancing on C9 right now.
Again, Celsius is alone on a site.
And this is the first time I think Loud have even been challenged to do anything super creative in the calling. It's been such clockwork perfection from Loud as they take these early fights and hit into the site. Finally now, call around C9, find Celsius again, isolated on A. Vic will teleport over here, and Loud have taken their time, so it's not like C9 don't have the bodies here to be able to react, but the paranoia could be a problem regardless. Verdi delete Celsius. That's another 1v1 that's always gone Loud's way. Vic trying to see if with this pop in the smoke, he can accomplish something. Not to be had, though. Loud were ready and waiting. I mean, they're everywhere. They're living inside their walls,
yeah,
Mimi.
C9 does not look like they're on the same page right now. They had 2 players. They had an Omen who TP'd over to help, and the Neon who was already up heaven. But Celsius ends up outside alone as the Viper's holding backside, and it's just not the same page. Loud is ripping them to shreds. They're walking around the map. They're playing as they like. They're hitting every shot. This is a decimation of a map.
We got to be tracking those first kills at the end of this one because Loud have been absolutely running away with it.
I think Darker and Luxio's numbers are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm also interested in the duels, too, because I think it's Luxio and Darker that have killed Oxy. If Oxy's the first one to die, if Celsius is the first one to die, it's Verdi every single time.
Yep.
And Verdi has probably killed Celsius 4 times at least this half. Loud have been so successful at just punishing this Vise. Finally, C9 bring another forward fight onto C, but hey, something different. Jack's the first one to fall, and it's the hands of Erde, the other rookie, on the opposite end of the stage. Showstopper now as C9 try to fight back. The Showstopper goes wide again, though. No value to be had. Luckily for C9, though, Celsius connects on his shot. My, Erde all the way up into B, now teleporting over into A. Loud again, try to call some circles around C9.
And Cloud9 will push back through on the flank, so Oxy is alone to try and contest this cross.
That door is broken, and it's not an easy cross. Viper Wall has carved out some safety, but Luxio with the mind read on Celsius, and Erde 4-3. Wrap this one up, it's cooked.
No one on Loud can die this game. They can't make a wrong decision.
They're doing everything right.
And Cloud9 cannot stop them. They are folding over at the hands of Loud.
I mean, even Erde is now winning the rookie 1v1.
Yep.
If you want to add that to the tally.
Well, a hell of a start to Erde's first match in VCT. Take a guess as to how long this one's going to take. I'd expect we'll see you for just a few minutes.
Out, completely running away with their new guy in Erde stepping into the roster. That was quite the half from Loud.
Oh, yeah, it was. What's the plan, guys? Maybe let's get 12 more Zeppa aces? I don't know.
How many kills is that? 60 kills?
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be a first time ever, I think.
Let's set some records, Zeppa, because I'm not sure how else C9 are meant to come back into this one. We'll see, though. Celsius has already moved way up into the A space. Unfortunately, 2 walls in front of him. Yeah. One the Vise and one the revolving door.
You know, maybe Erde's just a little tired after finally arriving. They wanted to give him a quick first game.
Right, yeah. Don't want to waste all his energy out there on the stage. Well, Oxy up in front of the wall. Let's see if he can take down Darker. Darker was his nemesis in the first half, but attack looks better for him.
Hello.
Problem is, Luke Show is a little rat waiting around in tree here on the other side. Oh, no one's looking at him. What are you looking at, guys? Luke Show's been there the entire time. No one trying to take the duel. Worried about the player on backside. As, well, C9 got the first kill for the first time in forever, but they're going to be the ones running it out to be.
What's going on in the C9 comms? I feel like I'm watching the Hindenburg go down.
Oh no, no one's holding for him. Someone look at Luke Show, please. Please, someone look at him. It didn't matter. Zeppa was looking at him and still he turned around and killed him.
Oh boy. Yeah,
you know
wrap
what?
this one up. Wrap this one up.
In the little like video we ran before, in the video we ran before the match, forget who it was on Loud, but they said that Luke Show was a god. And he used his powers to just...
His power of invisibility.
Yeah. Sometimes you just go next, Mimi.
Yeah, this is certainly one of those games.
Oh my God.
Certainly one of those games for Cloud9.
All right, Mimi.
Yep.
On the is Loud back meter, are we back?
One might think so.
Are Loud back? I'm not quite sure. I know C9 are back to pre-MIBR upsets.
That's why he's playing Escalation.
Oh my God, stop it. Well, Jack, welcome to VCT. And welcome to Split, because we're going to write this map off. Loud dominates C9 13-1 to kick off.
Where and hit the whole site. Now you have to be a lot more intentional about it.
We'll see. And post plant's still effective as an enemy team is trying to come on into you. But C9, it is time to show up. Talked about how both these teams sitting 1 and 2 in the standings. How this is a very important match to sneak your way into playoffs. C9 now gets to start on the attack. Already got the Viper wall set up on B, where Darker is waiting. Darker, one of the stars of Loud's Lotus, and it continues here with a nice kill, but Oxy has shown up. 2 of his own, and now some smokes to stop the rest of Loud from popping in here.
Already fast flood in, though, from Loud. Birdie.
Oh, nice shot! That was excellent. Still, though, it is C9 with the numbers advantage. Erde retreats back up the rope, but he's coming straight into Zelsis. C9 have put together a nice pistol round here. Just Cow and Zine, who will have a moment perhaps when the spike goes down, but Zelsis is holding on the other side, and C9 have their round.
Good on them. They've matched the score from game 1 already here on the first round of this game.
That was the biggest hand warmer I have ever seen. Did you see what was in Oxy's hands?
Yeah, it was
Do you think he didn't have that in map 1? And now he's all warm and ready to go?
Okay, I'll talk about the round. I think that this was... I like the pathing a lot from Cloud9 here. I think when you're playing against Vise, she's almost always going to have one of those storms down next to Pillar, which makes it really tough to dive her back site. So pathing that right side, looking to first fight the player diving from heaven, and then the Vise is really good.
Loud waiting with 4 here against Zelsis. Come on, there we go. First kill for him, and actually a lot of damage as well with the snake bite. Erde and Kalanzine down pretty low. That's good enough work there without a gun you're handing over or anything like that.
And that was his only job, to play the extremity, find the stack, and either find a free site or die. Did his job. And now it's a nice little post plant here for C9, as Loud is just going to bide their time till they can run in and die to the spike.
In my mind, I'm running through the scenarios where C9 could have started Lotus on the attack side, and what a different story that could have been. Now I'm wondering.
You're wondering?
Look, they're 2-0 now. What could have been?
A lot could have been different on that one for Cloud9. I think you think about how a lot of those rounds got played, and it left some to be desired, that's for certain. C9 is going to exit a couple players through spawn, so might get a couple more alt orbs.
There you
they
go.
absolutely will.
What does that make us? Zep already halfway. Zep and Oxy both halfway to their ultimates. But nothing like that Darker Steel Garden on round 3 that we had back on Lotus. I actually meant to see if, I don't think he got a third one off in that half, but he was nearly on pace to do it.
Yeah. one of the biggest points of Game 1 was how aggressive Darker and Luxio respectively were on extremities on the attack side. I'm interested on this split to see if we get any rounds where they're trying that same kind of thing. It's obviously a lot scarier to do it on a map like this and on that defensive side, so
yeah,
it'll come a little bit more down to the anchoring from those two, I'd expect.
I like the setup from Darker on A, though, having that very deep thorns to stop the Neon from wrapping back around elbow.
Yeah.
That allows Darker to then fall back into sight, play off of this flash. Although with all the utility C9 are chucking in, it's not going to make much of a difference. That Paranoia, checkmate.
And this is a really worrying bonus round now. They're retaking with the Judge into A. Cloud9 still have practically all their tools to play out this post plant. And they didn't spot Zelsis in Cubby.
Judge here up close and personal. Good shot. Even have the Prowler to guide Oxy in. Just locking down that front.
Toxin screen down.
Without C9 stepping into the open here, I'm not really sure what Luxio's supposed to do.
I think you just save.
Yeah. And saving on your anti-bonus is not the ideal situation. Oh no. Luxio. Spam shots nearly took that rifle out of his hands.
Yeah, I was just kind of lauding him for how good his extremity play was in the last game, but Darker really got caught off guard there. He was kind of stuck between wanting to fight forward in elbow and play around his thorns, and then wanting to swing from backside as that hit was coming in. But in that kind of indecision, he gets tagged by the Paranoia and just completely ran down.
He also hit himself with his own Vise Flash.
Yeah.
That was the start of the ugliness.
Yeah, this is a little suboptimal. He gets blinded, he gets revealed, he flashes himself. It was rough. And from then on out, I mean, even if you're only down a man, retaking A into Judge, into full Viper util is really challenging.
Yep. Need a few kills on that approach so that C9 just can't have multiple bodies patrolling both main and screens.
In the loss against G2, Loud won every pistol. They won 2 bonus rounds. That streak broken here.
Okay. 1 kill for Luxio. A good haunt will push Verdi away. And also that rifle, not so easy. Unless C9 abandon mid, this is going to give Loud some opportunities. Verde leading the team here back into mid with that hero rifle as Verdi picks up another one.
It's interesting. It looks to me like Darker's saving for an op, keeping 2,500 with just a classic this round.
I'll keep our eyes on that for round number 5. For now, Loud have guessed wrong. Will be another A-side finish for C9.
And unless you can get something early, this might end up be them just looking to save those 2 rifles and sacrifice the players with lesser guns.
I have the spike.
Yeah, the difference even just 1 player dying makes, though, is that C9 don't have 2 players guarding A main anymore. It's just Zelsis, so he has to play a lot more passively. So if Loud get the ball rolling here and actually get over towards heaven a little bit swifter, they might have a chance to go for something.
The ball is rolling quite slowly for
is.
now. And Zelsis is still just sitting main. He's going to cause problems later in this round.
Launching thorns.
And C9, you can see they're not giving fights. The site players are never swinging up into heaven in their position. Utility into the site as Zelsis waits for his timing. That showstopper still not quite going to be there, but C9 have the bodies twin out in this fight, and Jack will secure 3 for the round.
Nice 3K for him. He had a pretty rough go with things, as did the entire team, map 1. But showing that confidence, he was one of those players that just kind of came out of nowhere. He hasn't even played that many years in Challengers. It's not like he's one of those guys that was grinding forever. But after basically only playing his first few seasons of Challengers this year, he goes into his biggest game ever, being the quarterfinals of Challengers Stage 2 this year, being the top-rated player of that entire event, 2nd place in the Chip International event for C9.
Well, winning this series would be the first step of that journey, securing a spot into playoffs. Split off to a much hotter start here for Endo. As Jack readies that haunt. Instantly broken though, so Oxy doesn't have a kill waiting for him.
Not much control here. Kawa actually stepping back in. This is risky.
That's a crazy little fight there. Not expecting a 2nd player on the other side of the wall. The paint shells didn't do a good enough job at clearing away that close angle.
Yeah, Oxy down and no cancel option for C9. They'll look to contact back towards site, see if they can isolate Darker.
Last time they succeeded. This time though, just bait out the wall, taking things a little bit more measured. C9 needs some amount of heavy control here. Start threatening that they could pinch back into vents.
It's a 3v1 pinching back in.
Oh, it's Luke Show waiting for him, though, with the judge. 3 in the blink of an eye. Nearly lands the 4th.
Yeah, I guess I don't care if it's a 3v1, if it's a Luke Show with a judge.
Wow. Over the blink of an eye.
He's just cackling about how that one went.
Yeah, I mean, they just came into him at exactly the right time.
C9 did not give themselves a way out of that round. As soon as they lose Oxy in heaven on this play, their only choice was either to go all the way back main and try and re-clear, or take this super risky play with no info up vents. If Luke Show has a rifle, I actually think that might work, right? He maybe gets 1, max 2 kills, you trade him out, and then you're scaling into a weak B site. But instead, he just cuts them all down to size.
So because last round they didn't have any mid control to patrol Luke Show, this time C9 split their investments. 3 players up ramps, 2 players taking their time, bottom mid. Last time Oxy came on through this smoke with the paint shells, but this time not full sending it just yet. Louder actually looking for a re-clear themselves. Oxy waiting for it though. Will take down the enemy duelist, and with those mid players walking in, that's a hard read against exactly what Luke Show did in the previous round. The only way to stop this would be winning the fight in heaven. Darker trades evenly, but he has no assistance from Erde on the other side.
And no HP, swinging into 2. That's a death sentence.
That was an excellent pivot in the macro planning from C9 just in 2 rounds.
And it was a pretty bad start to this season for C9, but what impressed me in the MIBR game was how on point C9's reads were of MIBR. You know, they talked a lot about how they felt like their anti-stratting and their prep was on point, but also just the adaptation. Both maps in that game went to overtime. And I think that Zellsis came up with great solutions very quickly. That round, it was just, okay, we lost him solo pushing mid in the last one, immediately having that solved to punish.
And yet still showing a lot of that same utility, that same presence, so Loud kind of put to sleep a little bit. Thought it was going to be a very similar look. Get caught away at.
Jack going hunting.
And all right. It's my little joy watching our rookies get those honest 1v1s against each other, tracking how those goes. Already getting the best of them.
You're saying that like you're one of the people in the most dangerous game.
You know what? In a way, VCT is. Look, you get like Penny got out of the team after just 3 maps, or 3 games rather. It's the most dangerous game, you know? You're not sticking around here forever.
Not as dangerous as the story. Anyways.
Nah.
This was a really great round. Holding for these players to repush and punish. I don't know what he's mad about there. Maybe going for that hunt alone from Jack. It's Immy. He'll be mad no matter what. It's okay.
Won't be happy until they're in playoffs and win the league.
You won't be happy until they're in London, Christy.
Go to London and win London. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure then. Then it's champs. Always something more to be done for Immy. As C9 really changed their approach in this round to a 1-3-1.
Oxy this time, the one with the judge. He'll take control in vents.
I really like that. Even just Luke Show having the timing on the spam there as soon as he hears the haunt. Now the reposition towards B main sends Vic a little bit deeper.
But he's still holding it. They can't over-push into this player. So C9 keep pressuring up towards heaven, pull those main players back in, and just continue to work this map.
I mean, ultimately, when C9 choose to use the Nightfall and Oxy's ultimate, it should completely obliterate a site.
Okay.
Oh, man! Just tracking off the Prowler there for quick.
He took so much damage just standing in that molly.
Yep. And now that Nightfall, not
It's a
seeing
fake.
anything on site. Kalanzine, will he figure this one out? He does, and now calls in Darker to a Nightfall of his own, catches out, I believe, all 3 players. Less than 30 seconds remaining. Kalanzine bides his time, but Oxy on this shotgun has been lethal so far.
1 enemy remaining.
And Vic, too, patrolling mid.
That'll secure the round. Luke Show only 60 health, retaking into a pit 1v4. There's just no way, even for this guy.
Unless no one's looking at him. There's a 4K to close out Lotus. But this time, no such luck.
He'll save, and well,
Poor
Vic on the
Vic
world's
is.
longest flank is ready for him.
Vic's just hanging out on B. Little did Luke Show know there were only 2 players waiting for him on site, but Zelsis will get the better of him this time around to extend this lead.
Clean stuff from C9. They lose that one round, have a great answer to it, and then completely switch up the style here. I like the call to go for that fake. They pulled 4 players over, and there was a bit of risk, right, when Kawa got that pick and managed to rotate back in, but with the pace of the Neon's rotations, Oxy can still close that window for Kawa to run back into sight. That's the only time where he would have been a real problem if he could get back sight. But that was locked down by Oxy, and this lead continues.
Back to A main for C9. Haven't seen this in a few rounds, and Oxy's committing the ultimate into it. It's a great seize from Kawa, and he just gets the spam off it as well, doing it all his own.
To judge.
Yeah, but they do spot him out. Verdi forced to slide away, retreat back into heaven, where Darker's waiting to assist. C9 have no territory to work with, really.
This is similar to that last A ramp play they did, where they lose Oxy early and then have a 4-on-5 with no map control. Look at Luke Show just jiggling down mid. There's Erde on the other side in B main. They have nothing to work with here.
Yeah, the difference is instead of going into vents this time, they're going all the way back into mid. And Luke Show has that judge, so he's going to have to choose his timing here.
The last round like this, he got a 3K with that same weapon.
Yes, he did. This time, though, he's jiggling, so he's going to reveal himself first.
He still hasn't seen him. There we go.
Yeah, there they go. And the satchels try and collapse into him. What can he give us? Luke Show the seas, lands onto him, and Zeppa follows up. So now your eyes move to Erde, the only player on this B side remaining.
30 seconds left.
He slow plays his hand, though. Tucks into main, looks to be a problem late round.
C9 can't be comfortable in this post plant. They have to worry about their backs. They have to be worrying about people coming out from heaven as well. Zeppa throws down some shots, but now that steel garden to catch him out. Erde pinching in from B main as well. He's patient with it. Can't take down Jack on the other side, but Jack is low. Jack been backed into a corner. And now in a 1-on-2. 12 HP to his name, and now there's none. Loud will take 2 rounds into this half.
I love the way that Erde played that. I think a lot of people in his position would be overplaying their hand and trying to immediately swing in, especially a rookie in their first match, to go for a fight like that early. But instead, he waits, gets a kill late as his teammates are pinching in, and assures that round. I'm not loving these rounds where C9 are just sending 5 players early.
I mean, those are the 2 rounds they've lost, and it was both with the early ramps dive.
Yeah, I think they've looked so good at pressuring into mid and being able to pull rotations. I've noticed in a lot of Loud games, they have a tendency to over-rotate sometimes, and I want to see them continue to exploit that on the attack.
It's a different setup from C9, back to the 1-3-1, but it's Jack to show the Prowler. He's usually been throwing the Haunt over the top, deeper onto ramps. So Loud knows something has changed, and if they re-clear themselves, it'll be Luke Show rather, to find a few players up in mid. C9, we have a chance to listen into their comms. What do they got cooking?
Bench, guys. Yeah, heard. There might be 2 here, so.
Yeah. Could be upping here, okay?
Just one way. They're not in B main.
Heard.
Alright, are you smoke?
Just go right
Or
side.
B heaven, yes.
Yeah, we should go right side.
Prowler in the smoke and wall, Francis. I'll
ready,
reach
guys?
back.
Yeah,
You ready?
Go, go, go.
Or B,
3,
2,
2,
1. Mine.
Close. Backside, 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 backside. Vic.
Cancel me, cancel me.
I'll see him.
Wall, blinding.
Close. Backside rafters, guys. Can you peek?
Yeah.
Backside still. He went spawn, he went spawn.
I'm planning safe, guys. I'm planning safe. Stay over there. Going down.
Guys, we only have tether, okay?
Yeah, I'm 1 HP, guys.
Just sit default, maybe
planted.
Jordan.
Sure.
One heaven. I'm smoking in 2 seconds.
Nice.
You're good.
I'm just sitting default.
Both.
Bingo.
Okay.
I get close.
Oh.
We're tethered. Double tethered.
One triple peek this.
Yeah.
Triple. 3, 2, 1.
Good break, Francis.
Yeah, right, mate.
Nice, boy!
Good
Let's
job.
go!
Good job.
Good shit.
Good eye. Good fucking eye, Jack.
Really like the approach there from C9. You hear as they're setting up for that execute, how the 2 duelists are saying where they're going to path so that they can have those complementary angles. Works really well between Oxy and Zeppa to pinch them down. And then in that post plant, continuing to be proactive, making that call to go for the triple swing, instead of just sitting back and letting yourselves get overwhelmed while you're tethered and you lack information.
There's a nice setup from C9 to take that round, and that's going to bring us to our first Loud timeout. Didn't have things like Loud's adjustment the last few rounds has been to overload ramps after C9 were doing so much work there early in the
I
half.
think C9 are going to stay away from it, though. They've lost the last couple ramps rounds they've went for. Here, they're just leaning B in. Oh, only one player here.
I know it's possible that Loud don't want to change up too much here, it being a half buy for them.
And you do have a really easy solution to mid this round with that Viper's Pit.
Yeah,
Don't have to overstack behind it.
I'm a little surprised to see Luxio commit that pit this round on the half buy.
I mean, you do have a Judge, you have a hero
Sure,
gunning
sure.
Kawa, and with this scoreline, I don't think it's crazy to take that risk.
I think to me it's almost signaling that I don't think Luxio is playing mid next round, and I think that, you know, mid is the best place to use the Viper's Pit.
Yeah,
so
that would suggest they're going for something more active like that.
exactly. Making those pivots. See if C9 have a similar read, but right now they have worked their way back A.
Yeah, this is a Loud who started heavy A early. Now just the Vice and the Neon, that Fade rotating back in as well. They'll have a pretty good hold here.
Using the Haunt for the quick dive onto the site. Haven't seen this since the early rounds of the half. Showstopper fails to connect, but the assistance is on its way. Darker still alive into the corner for now, and he finds his kill. The rest of C9 worked their way in, though. No issues for them.
Hi, Luxio.
Anyone going to look at him this time? No, he's in and out like a bandit.
So now they'll both group up towards Heaven. A Bucky, a Sheriff. You got anything left, Loud?
Last player standing.
I think there are some guns to be secured right outside screens,
Toxins going up.
but he'd make noise going for the swap. And the Bucky might be the best rifle for the job if he's going to work into elbow. No shots to be found, though. Oxy for 3. C9 extend this up 6.
Clean stuff from them. That was just that half-buy round for Loud, but despite investing in Ultimate, getting at least a hero gun in there, it doesn't net them anything. Cloud9 made great choices in the way they scaled this site again. You see here after failing to hit that rocket and deal with the player back site, instead of Zeppa continuing his pathing and hard committing to a duel, they froze once people were out of the choke and fought the players flooding in first before dealing with the Vise. It's really good fundamentals.
I will say it's interesting, like, I don't think we've seen Zeppa land a rocket yet today, but I think he's still always getting a kill on the entry after he uses it.
Yeah.
Always staying in the fight.
So that's the util we've seen a lot for the ramps dive, but this time it's not followed up.
But this is back to the little divergent path C9 took with 3 players A, 2 in mid. The duelists have swapped positions, though.
Yeah. Change from Loud as well. Look at that new Vise wall going across A.
Zelsis just tried to bait out the wall, but now he's headed straight into the Judge. It's no more lurk to pivot back into. C9 have their eyes set on the B site. Luxio has retreated to Rafter. He's in a good position. These players slide into him. Oxy just deletes him for the field of battle. That was snappy from the Neon. But now Loud find themselves in a very similar position. 3 players trying to come back from CT. Erde lurking on the opposite side. Darker has patrolled this area nicely. Now Verde out of it. So are 2 rookies in a one-on-one. Erde needs this if Loud are going to have a shot in this map. Cover onto the spike. How long is he going to hold on to this one? Half stick. Oh my god, he's not going to go for the full stick. Pulls away from it, and Jack will spam him down. The Red Bull clutch for Jack.
Great approach from him. Coming up big against the other rookie, both making their debut match here in VCT Americas. And this is a crazy round. C9 down a man, double path into this site.
I love that entry pathing, both of them jumping around the corner.
It's so cool, but look at how he plays this when it comes late into the one-on-one. See, so he can't hear, and then Haunt behind. Erde's looking for a swing in the smoke, so he doesn't actually break it. And it nets an easy kill for Jack.
Comes up clutch to keep this game a landslide for C9. C9 back to this 2-3. Paint shells break the thorns, or actually pull them out.
Look at Erde. He's just walked straight through B main, and he's already looking to flank the players mid.
That is crazy. No utility to patrol. He doesn't take his time and look for more, just accepts the kill on Oxy. That's usually meant round win for Loud.
That's a crazy read. He looks like a fool if he dies there, but knows they've been playing this 3-2 so often, takes the risk.
And that's what Loud need, a little bit of risks to get themselves back in here. 3 rounds, their best look is C9.
They're kind of forced to go back A here. They have so little information on the far side of the map.
Yeah, because Erde could still be up on B main. So the fight on Dark, which has been a good one, will have to come into the Steel Garden. And Verdi waiting for it with the Judge in hand. Upgrades to the Phantom. Now a stun into backside, but he knows he's going to have to take this fight before assistance comes online. 1 player above him.
30 seconds left.
Waiting for it as he retreats into the smoke, and Kalanzine will help him out from the other side. C9 backed into the corner. But their post plants on A have been excellent.
It just has to be fights. They're playing the wide open angles. They're looking for duels.
Loud have no real utility to come back in here. They're gonna have to face up and win some duels. Jumping through the smokes though, Luke Show sets it up for his teammate, and Loud will close out this half with 3.
It's another dominant half though. 9 picked up for the side of Cloud9, but 3 certainly makes it doable. Loud won both pistols in that first game. They've been good at their bonuses. This is a different game than map 1, even if it is still a dominant one.
Yeah, it could become the same game if C9 get out to a pistol round win in the next half. Plenty more Valorant left to be played here after this.
But looking at that other side, I still have some worry for Cloud9. Loud rolled them on the attack side back on Lotus, and well, the 2 players to look at were Luke Show and Darker, and guess who are on each extremity with some strong guns in this pistol.
I remember Darker's Sheriff had that 3K to kick off Lotus. Virtually unassisted.
Yeah, Bandit for Luke Show as well on the other side.
So far though, C9 keeping it a little bit more controlled at the start. No one even taking the forward posting on ramps just yet.
It is a 4 stack on A, and now they will start to inch forward on ramp.
Yeah, C9 have thrown this mid Viper wall, which signals a little bit more aggression there. So Loud are like waiting to see if that fight actually comes through. Only now that they realize a fade at least is on the A side.
But with pretty much no presence made by C9.
I mean, Zelsis is on his own. How many times on Lotus was he just by himself getting run over by Verdi's Neon?
Here we go, just Darker things walking into B main, ready to set up for this pinch.
I mean, does Zelsis even want to go for some kind of a timing shot? Looks like it, but really just trying to stay alive here and play the 5v5 retake.
It'll be a retake, but there will be a flank coming in. Like, there's still heaven control for Loud. These are big win conditions.
Loud have fantastic control over the map right now, especially with Erde dropping back into Mail. This paranoia to buy some time sends all those players running. And Verdi even too, putting this pressure down. C9 have no real room to work with. And there's 2 layers of mid players they have to clear away. Nobody showing themselves. Erde now still running out of this. And it's all to bait for Luke Show. So Zelsis is looking the wrong way. Luckily though, on the site, C9 are running over these anchors. Kalanzine secures 1, but now Erde needs to get some shots into the dark cover. The spam has to be there. There's not time for him to win this round. C9 to double digits.
Turns out the way to win against a player in heaven and a player on the flank is just ignore them and siege the site.
Yeah, and it was the C's from Jack. It caught out 2 players on pillars, stopped anyone from really trading off each other.
It was so good. You saw Verdi there. He couldn't hear a thing. He was trying to back up. Gets caught in the side of the head. Really nice retake from C9 there. And that makes the chances of any comeback, of any competition in any map this series a little bit more grim now.
Yeah.
If you're looking at Loud. They feel like they have to force here.
Yeah, they got the spike plant, so it's not looking the worst it possibly could. I mean, Stingers are pretty evenly matched, and if Verdi connects with the Bucky, there's a way into this yet. Luke Show takes down Vic back in main, and again, Loud have a position on this B site. Erde traded out by Jack as Jack gets a little ahead of himself, trying to guide the rest of his teammates into the site. C9 are not slowing down at all, throwing everything into B, and it only comes up with 2 kills for them.
And you might ask if maybe they should have just a little bit. Ended up just water falling into that site, everyone trying to get involved in the brawl. And well, it was the run and gun from the Loud Stingers that were better. That range shot is crazy, but look at this. Darker run and gun, okay. Darker run and gun, yep. And this one a bit more honest from Kawa to end.
I mean, it's point blank with a stinger. I'm giving it to him. Still not easy for C9 to fire back, though, and, well, that's going to shut down C9's hopes of closing this one out immediately. Well, if they run at us again, we have the answer.
The thing you may not realize is that Loud, they want to let their extremity players work. I would expect on any rifle round we get this game, it's pretty much always going to be a 1-3-1, where they try and create enough pressure to let Darker or Luke Show get involved.
Yeah, I appreciate how much respect Loud are giving to this Viper Wall. I can't wait until they stop respecting it. That's exactly the round. C9 tries something.
Yep. And it is scary how far they can walk up and get aggro off of it. The boys still hanging out together up in heaven.
Prowler doesn't see them. But now Loud are like, okay, this is weird. Our main controls have seen no players. We don't like what the chances are in heaven. So now regrouping back to B while really there's a major activation by Luke Show on A.
And he has the stinger, so he's allowed to take as many risks as he wants pretty much here to get info.
But there's not enough time for them to actually pivot back onto the A side once Luke Show realizes no one's here. It's too late into the round, so Loud are gonna...
Man, if this was a B stack, it could have gone so wrong.
Well, hopefully some C9 members would rotate out. They are all up in heaven with the pistols, so this round still looking good for Loud, even heading into the stack, but pink shell kills make things interesting, not to be extended for very long, though, as Loud clean up the C9 squad.
How long were you interested for?
About 1.5 seconds. And then, no, let's move on.
Yeah.
It was a wipeout.
Pretty easy stuff from Loud, though. So they get their eco round win. They convert off that. They'll make a couple upgrades this round to have basically their own attempt at a bonus on round 16. And this is a pretty good position to start a comeback from. After showing a couple rounds with really slow 1-3-1, they're just grouping towards A in this one.
Oxy chooses not to overstay his welcome on ramps. Instead, calling back support. 3 players now into heaven. A fourth in Zeppa ready to respond. Verdi's about to slide into his demise. Erde's behind them all. No one's looking the right direction. Loud run a quick little pop out here. Only Zeppa to hold the line. Now a 2-on-2.
But Zeppa has Rocket. Even on low health, that's so much pressure in a retake.
Hasn't gotten a kill with it yet. So this could be the chance for him to deliver. This close angle from Luke Show is perfect. Now 1-on-1. Kawanzin stepping in front of the fight. Watch them run. And this ultimate canceled quickly. Kawa not fooled by it in the slightest. Stealing sight. Sidesteps the paranoia. He's dancing around now. That's a great seize as well. Vic getting stalled out massively here as Kawanzin just takes his time, toying with his opponent on the other side. I mean, this is devastating. There is not enough time remaining. Perfectly played in the clutch for Kawa.
Kawa played that excellently. But the perfect amount of time. And that was kind of a scary way that they ended up playing that. It was basically 2 1-on-2s. With that Raze being on low HP and not expecting such a crazy aggressive off angle, it works out. You rewind earlier in this round, and there's a nice change of pace from Loud. Saw how chaotic that fight became up in heaven. I like that Erde's just been willing to take some of these crazier TPs. Make the play.
Yeah, and there it's guided. He teleports to the other side of the smoke. That's what starts the confusion for C9, who now just have 2 Vandals to their name. And this time stepping down into mid without the assistance of the Viper Wall. That catches Erde completely by surprise.
They were respecting it so much when there was a wall there. Now the wall changes, and finally C9 go aggro.
Both duelists ready to catch Loud if they go for this fight here. Great position from Oxy. And now the showstopper. I'm not sure. I think Loud might have escaped from this one more time.
Well, it's a good trade when you keep the spike.
Yeah. And Erde being dead means no ultimate to recover. Now Vic with another off angle. Dark with the hard clear, though.
Yeah, that was gross. He was looking the wrong way for a second, just flicks around.
Yeah, must have seen a barrel or something like that. But still, the spike is the problem. C9 choose to fill up into Garage.
I'd only have 30 seconds to make something happen here.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to play the round, truthfully.
30 seconds left.
It's so hard to get back in here. They'd really have to send it. And even then, there's no time to actually plant the spike, so good luck. They get Oxy's ult at least. That's a pretty decent pull. And look at Darker. Oh my god, 3 kills from him. There's a chance, but not really with the amount of time remaining. C9 stabilize here on defense for 11.
Yeah, that was a half buy from C9 as well going into that round that they take away the win from. I want to see back this fight bottom mid. That was such an early success for C9 here as well. Where Loud just gets caught off guard by these players walking up into kind of weird positions. Ultimate ended up getting a couple at the end there.
That's me, team. Let's go. You see that? You see that discipline? Ev is definitely happy there.
Oxy pleased with himself, and why not, sitting with 21 kills. And, well, I thought it was going to be a 20-second. Zeppa will claim it, though. Not really sure how they're trying to sell the fake up ramps because there hadn't been that early fight, but now they have to pivot the complete opposite side of the map and quickly. This orb is going to be nice to work around in the post plant, as well as the steel garden.
Yeah, that's going to buy some good time here once he actually procs the ultimate.
Waiting for now. Waiting until some signal that C9 want to go for the retake. And there it is. So a few more seconds. Bought now for Loud.
3 players dodge it though, so C9 can still get back in pretty quick here.
We're going to listen to what Loud have in this post plant for us. In just a few moments, C9 kicking it off.
Saga. Ah, não comendo, não comendo. 2 esquerda. Vou pra acabar agora das boca avisa. Vai acabar em 2, sim.
Direita, direita.
Bora, 2 esquerda, velho. Close, 80. Default, mais default. O default último.
Joga você.
Vamos, guys.
Nice! Nice!
Come in.
Great work from Luke Show there, playing inside of the pit. Will he escape? No, both players fall, but a round win is a round win. No issues there for Loud.
Yeah, it certainly is. Loud happy to see that one through. They lost a player super early in that round, but credit to Erde. He made a great reaction by assuming that that meant that B was going to be either very lightly held or open. He gets into that site for free. And then a great layering of the ultimates to stall out means that even though they made a go of it, C9 had very thin margins to make anything happen in that round.
So defense continues to be a struggle for C9 over the course of this series. Only 2 rounds won on this side, including that pistol.
That space and make retake easier.
I mean, when they won the half buy, it was with 2 Vandals in their duelist hands, and it was with walking just straight down mid. I think also by playing 4 mid, it allows them to react very quickly to either side of the map.
Yeah.
We're allowed to show they want to exec.
And a double duelist comp shines at being able to have those fast rotations, have a neon stun and nade in position as the hits coming in is so good.
But Loud just wanted to show that they took control of Garage. Last time they would have threatened to pop out behind it, but this time, working back into mid. This is where C9's trap is waiting, but they've already spent the majority of their utility they had available.
Yeah, no satchels, nade, or stun at this point. Those are big tools off the table.
And Luke Show's lurking has been a staple of Loud's attack so far. Now, though, has to clear away Zepp, and he's just far enough ahead of his teammates. There's no chance at a trade.
Those are the same plays he was getting away with earlier in this series, now punished.
Uh-oh. Spam shots from Zeppa, too. Will allow the site to fall into enemy hands. But mid, this lurk from Darker is really going to be Loud's best chance at playing the post plant. The spike is planted for him.
The timing he takes is the make or break of this round. If he dies for nothing, it's basically curtains.
C9 still only have the 2 rifles to their name, but with numbers and with the chip damage, it is certainly looking possible. Nice connection from Darker. Working that flank, will be shut down though. And now it's just these two site players. Erde with no HP at all somehow carves a path forward. Sees some way to win this round. Kalanzine much healthier. But even the spam goes that way. Erde with just 3 HP, but time is on his side. Zelsys didn't stick it to half, and that could be the death knell for him. 3 kills, but this round is going Loud's way.
Incredible work from Erde and from Darker in that round. They were in a 4-on-5 as that site got taken. Second round now where they've been in a 4-on-5 where they just snap the right site and get that plant and win the post. Here's this pick onto Zeppa. And even though he ends up dying after that, he bought so much time just existing. And that kill from Erde and Elbow is utterly ridiculous on 3 health. That should have been Jack winning that every day of the week. But instead, Erde lives, C9 lose the round. And now this comeback starts to look more and more reasonable.
Now C9 though with the full buy with the Nightfall. And this Viper's Pit being dropped into mid. See how Loud plan to re-clear the mid space because Luxio's already stepped up on A. Loud didn't choose to accelerate on B, so that means they need to solve this problem.
A lot of the time you'll see teams just go and take ramp control off of a pit like this.
Wow, choosing not to. Even though they have a Prowler or Nightfall. Try and hunt down the Viper. That means C9 have access to the quick rotations through mid to react to this eventual A hit.
Yeah, Prowler just re-cleared ramp. I think Luxio heard that miss, so he might look to contact back up now as C9 are just playing passive, looking to fight with the Nightfall off contact.
Jack just having the response, though, to set up Oxy for the fight. And the threat of spam down should have stopped Loud from going for something. Traded back, those Jack will fall. I'm still looking at mid, where Darker is a late lurk into the Viper. Zelsys tried to clear it out. He knows that is a possibility. And the rest of Loud now have a read on this Elbow player. Paranoia connects onto Oxy. Staying afloat for now, inside of the dark cover. Now that Darker has killed C9's mid player, pressure begins to mount. They have to win out on the site. There's not that much assistance. Vic trying to set up for Oxy, who drops like a rock. Now 15 seconds left on the clock. Darker has to recover the spike, has to worry about Heaven. Vic even threatening to cross back into Elbow. Vic will know exactly where he is. The tracking is there eventually, and Vic will take C9 to map point.
Huge round to win there for Vic. Cloud9 have lost so many of these advantaged late retakes at the hands of Loud. It's been the bread and butter of this comeback. But here, shut away. Credit to Erde again. He did a lot getting these 2 kills, giving a chance to his team in a round that had started off going pretty poorly. You absolutely will. Vic happy to get the win. Imi looking so relieved to finally have that 12th round on the board.
That comeback now, carrying a lot more pressure on every single round for Loud if they want to make it go. And look at the buy. Couple of stingers, a Sheriff, a Bucky. Misery for Loud. Try and see this one through as the Thorns are set up. Stop players flooding out from Heaven. A port deep into enemy territory. Erde will come in from there. The showstopper connects for the first kill of Zeppa's on this series, and the rest of C9 will make quick work of Loud to send us directly into Breeze.
Quick as it could be to close out the chances of Loud here on Split. I think you can look at that map. Suppression to refight into space is great. And not only for that, for cross-map scouting. I think he's still really good on this map, and if you don't have a player who you need to put on Jet or need to have in a second duelist slot, I think it's a good comp.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Erde performs on that one. The first time here on the VCT stage. How about that? Vic just takes him out of the count already. Shots coming through the wall, and Vic is on fire right now. Finally dealt with, as Luxio waits right on the other side of this wall. He's caught some pretty gnarly timing so far today, and he looks to secure another one here as Oxy slides into the back of the site, and Luxio starts shooting people in the back of their heads. Luxio's going to need a little bit more, though, because Kalanzine is a bit isolated on site, especially now with Luxio dropping. Kalanzine slides to the other side. Pushes back onto Pillar. Still sitting full HP, but not too many bullets left in the tank. That shock dart is lethal. Can't miss here, he does, and Oxy will take him for a ride. C9 to another pistol.
Nicely played in the end by Oxy, that wide swing. Too tough to deal with only 2 bullets. I think the only difference that could have happened here for Loud was that lurk coming through on the flank. He did a lot of damage wrapping back around here for Luke Show. But the ISO shield,
man,
is the thing that ended up saving Zeppa. And despite those straights, all made possible by great anchoring out of Vic. So a good brawl from C9, and we'll see a lot of that this half. And in the second half, they have a comp that really wants to team fight together, get Zeppa into duels with that shield up, have Oxy sliding around with him. It rewards being proactive.
Yep.
It rewards always having mid control and taking really fast rotations.
I'll talk about sliding. Oh, I was going to say Verdi went for the shorty this round, so it was just going to be the quick pop, but he again gets spammed down before the round really gets underway. So Zeppa has plenty of shields to activate on, and that took us, what, 15 seconds?
Oh yeah, pretty easy. In a world of shotguns and outlaws and all these things getting bought constantly, the ISO shield feels really good to play with.
Absolutely.
Not many other agents are allowed to play here on an anti-eco and get away with it, but Zeppa is on that ISO. Something I'll be tracking throughout this entire half is how C9 plays for mid control. In the game against MIBR, they almost always started 1-3-1 with constant mid control and constant play for fast rotations through that space on their defense. If they play similarly, I'm looking to see how Loud looks to shut that down and deny that space.
Loud spread out here for their buy round. Erde and Verdi working up into mid, but that wall cuts off the line to double doors. Pretty early drone, all things considered, from C9. Suppose if Zeppa sticks into this space, it'll be worth it for them, but
sure.
Mid is a bit of a gap now.
The ISO and that Cove like to hold that space in main, but that will locked down. It means Jack is holding this kind of weird angle back towards mid.
And the drone spots him as well, so now C9 revealed that they're playing back into main. Loud could look to get quite a lot done here. Already the shield has been broken from Zeppa. As Loud go for a deep retreat, Darker contains that side of the map. Succeeding on that front as Jack gets a different kill on double doors.
He just sprinted all the way through, caught Luke Show off guard.
Yeah, it's wild.
Now Loud have to take another fight. It's 3 players retaking from the flank. Loud struggling to find the strong side and look to break out.
Kalanzine with the Hunter's Fury, round 3 online, and they're lined up in B main. That is one. A little bit more damage to be found, and Verdi slipped up into the corner. Oxy just not to be phased, though. Now Kalanzine tries to be the hero again for Loud. One-on-one, Erde and Jack. This time, the time working in Erde's favor. It's a reversal to that 1v1 back on split, and this time, Erde's on top.
Crazy that he's earning that ultimate in the middle of the round to be able to pop that back towards main. 6-3 start for Kalanzine.
Yep.
And while it only netted 1 kill, that provided enough to displace all these players, slow them down, that despite it coming to a one-on-one, there's basically nothing that could have been done to win there for Jack.
It still doesn't feel good how that round sort of got away from Loud for a moment.
They lost pretty much the entire map so early on, with the players in mid then breaking out, the flank coming through from B as well. All of these things were kind of worrying signs for Loud.
Loud just want to pop 5 players onto the A site. See if they can catch Vic out here, but C9 have already taken some mid space. They've shifted onto this side. Reinforcements are going to come in quickly. And I like how Vic is playing this. Up inside of the smoke, doesn't pull the trigger on the spam. He's choosing to stay alive. His teammates are coming in. Now timings it onto the other side. Vic is a monster anchoring these sites. Pistol round to now. He is locked in, but so is Erde. And now Vic gets swarmed on both fronts, and Loud line up a few more kills back yellow to tie things up at 2.
Great team fighting from Loud on that site. Vic had done a lot of work, not only getting the initial pick onto the player alone back site, but buying time. This is where it changed though. Pop flash back through the wall. The entirety of Loud is, instead of playing to plant, fighting together off of that. This map, and well, just this meta in general, really rewards being the team who recognizes when your opponent fights, baiting the util, and then refighting back in. And Loud executed that so well.
Don't place.
Well, C9 have all the tools to fight over B at their disposal. See how Loud react to that. Take this fight back into C9. Because I'll tell you what, Oxy is just going for it. Full on sending for now. Erde will shut him down. Playing on both sides of the fast lane there. Erde is not dissuaded in the slightest. Flashes himself back onto the line. So pick up these ecos.
There's the guy that was Duncan back in Challengers LATAM.
Man. Now just running them down. You're literally just talking about it, how you want to wait out that fight and then re-clear the space, and that's a perfect display of it there from Loud.
Yep, simply wait and go back in. Kawa should have, by all accounts, been dead to Oxy there, but it was Erde who just swung in, one-tapped the sliding Neon, and kept his teammate in it.
Zelsis and Vic just looking to exit and or die to Spike here.
Yeah, it's been such an interesting year, and especially stage 1 for VCT Americas, because we had a while there where LATAM, where Brazil, where none of their teams were really finding success other than the squads who had went international. But here, looking at 2026, it's really been reversed in stage 1. All of Crew is finally here, all of Lev is finally here, and those teams are showing up, playing so well, and I didn't think that Loud was going to join that class, but here they are with Erde showing up, playing really well. Still yet to see how high their ceiling can be and if they can find it in time to even make playoffs. But it's a great early sign to see your long-awaited rookie performing early.
Oh yeah. And already the warm sands of Breeze treating Loud a little bit better than Split treated them. Have the lead here. Erde has that ultimate online too. Some chances just rip on into a site. But it'll be back to some mid control. Knife aimed at tunnel for now. No break on it yet.
It's 5 players here in mid.
C9 are ready to pop out and take this fight. With the undercut available, the stuns coming down as well. Backed into the corner. C9 trade evenly at the start. Luke Show has a little pocket to play with. Backs away for now. There's no chance for Loud to get the revive. Instead, just plant the spike as Darker steps up into double doors. Waiting for his moment. Luxo sees those players coming in as well, now turning the attention back to him. But Darker is isolated. Counting doesn't have the support, but he does have his second Hunter's Fury of the map in round 6. 1 kill, and then the shock darts, and that could just be the round. But he'd have to get out in front of things. And now pushed away by the snakebite. Switches over to the shocks. Jack up in his face, he gets the kill. The second shock is just too slow. C9 will take the round with a full stick.
A second difference there, and Kawa could have won that round. Sprang through, gets the first kill. But the Viper's Pit secures the win from Vic. He has been the safe hands for Cloud9 in what has been a tumultuous start to this map.
Kind of crazy he gets the kill on Jack there.
Yeah.
While he was really in the process of going for the spam on the diffuser.
And I'd like to see, even though it didn't trade perfectly there for Loud, that they are looking to try and contest this play in mid. You want to deny those fast C9 rotates. You do want to fight for this space. They'll try it again, this time quietly.
Yeah. Oxy's pretty isolated in mid, just looking to take a timing behind these players as the kidnap comes online. Zeppa on Verdi. Walls down, Verdi succeeds, but in behind is Oxy. Keep your eyes on double doors right now as Oxy shows up and doesn't get anything. A disaster for Cloud9 as both of their win conditions falter.
Planted.
And now Loud with a full control of the site, forward positions as well. They can bolster their line of defense. C9, I don't think they play this one.
No. There was a window maybe they could have after Vic gets that kill, but still down a man this late in the round. Celsius picks up a gun and they all back away. That is another wild round out of Loud. They look so good when they're just playing this fast, aggressive style together. I want to give some credit to Erde, because even though it wasn't necessarily just him lighting up the scoreboard this round. It was great utility to set up that fight back site. I think the KO flashes have been super impactful already early in this game.
So Loud back with the lead again. While they did commit the hard ult into the last one, they still hold on to Cowanzine's Hunter's Fury. Verdi and Dark with some ults of their own. This is the utility you're talking about.
Yeah, bounce off the wall, pushes it back. Verdi's also just somehow beating Zeppa in the ultimate. But in taking those two players out, it is still a stronger fight for Loud, where they're just scaling as that's happening. And even if he gets that kill, they were far enough up where they would have taken the ISO out once he came out of the Thunderdome.
In such a close game, neither coach has hit that timeout button, leaving these teams to figure it out on their own for now.
You are divided.
C9 move back into some mid control. Loud trying to sell a fake with this wall onto the A side. Celsius would have to play spoiler here with that judge. Gets up in front. And I don't think anything spotted him yet. The flash just for a moment. Pulls out the shots, but the rest of C9 have approached, have stunted this hit. And Loud retreat.
Hearing a judge is enough to send you away from that choke point.
But Loud are still winning on the rotations. They choose to actually cut through mid, drop down a star to guide their cross.
C9's call instead is a refight. That's a tag. Jack, does he use the ultimate? Yes, he does.
Looking for him. Needs a shot to connect onto Erde, but Erde's hopping around like a bunny. And Erde's have ducked into the smoke. What is that? Doing it all himself, under pressure from the Hunter's Fury. He still collects on two. And that leaves Vic stuck on this site. He has been a rock for C9 as an anchor. But now without any angles back in. Loud with a brilliant position once more. Now Vic pushed away. Jack shows up, but maybe it's a little bit too late. You've still got Luke Show patrolling back in spawn. This is another round where C9 are just going to have to run and save.
Loud have dominated the mid-control game here. They haven't necessarily been heavy fighting forward, but they're playing for these late round hits there. It was that attempt on the fake towards B. Well, it was initially successful. They get turned away from. It all came down to the play from Erde.
That was insane. I mean, first of all, surviving versus the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah.
But that timing he
I
took
mean, the
into the
movement
smoke.
to dodge it out, and he was swinging before, because normally if you're a KO, you're expecting, okay, he's going to right-click, pop flash in. No, Erde was swinging before anything even popped. He was just straight up taking a 1v2 in that cove. And
Show
man,
it to
did it
us.
work out. Yeah, let me see that again. Literally just walks in.
Man, it looks like Oxy actually saw him too. He shot first, but it didn't actually hit Erde, and Erde made him feel the punishment for it.
That's 2 rounds now where these pivots have come late, where Loud is just getting picks back through mid as C9 try and rotate, and then winning out the actual execute on the site.
And they think to themselves, you know, maybe defense just isn't our side today. Even on split, that was the rough side for them. Got crushed back on Lotus, but with 3 rounds, maybe put a few more on the board. That could just be enough for them as the falling one way opens up the angle. Cowanzine doesn't see too much.
C9 walked back into mid.
It's actually been these half-buy rounds where C9 have been seriously threatening when they take a few more chances.
And a
Pop
good
comes
read
in.
on it. There's going to be 5 players B real quick.
Yeah, that shield is a little bit early. Now Cowanzine rips the Hunter's Fury. There's bodies here coming in from C9. Already, though, Jack is down, and now one of those rifles out of it as well.
Down B.
So Vic, the only guy with a real gun. That spike, though, has been claimed by Cloud9. And the shield's still active from Zeppa. He could continue to snowball this through. Switches over to the gun, and it costs him. But Luke Show caught in a 1-on-2. Steps out from the smoke, and it is again these hero rifles half-buy rounds from C9 where they come out on top.
It was 2 rounds in a row where they lost players as they rotated and fought through mid. This round looks a lot more like the MIBR game, where they're starting a 1-3-1, their soul anchor holds long enough for the mid players to quickly rotate, and they win in the super chaotic quadruple smoke fight on a site.
And it has just been Vic.
I mean,
Getting
he's,
silly with it, but dominating in the server.
he's always that guy that is alone, that has to give the time for his teammates to arrive. He's doing really well at it, 12-3.
Man, 4-0 KD there. Been shutting Loud down effectively. The attack op didn't even get the shot through the wall. There's nearly some damage, but no dice.
So in discourse, when C9 made changes of what is next for Vic, here he is showing up, dominating in this game.
Interesting round for Loud to try and play here with Verdi holding onto the op onto attack. Does have the ultimate if he wants to go for an exec eventually, but for now, the slow clear. Swing is primed and ready for Zelsis, and it's not even necessary. Vic has been so good, but it's for that second layer that he then eventually gets the trade, as Jack just steps up into elbow. This round, C9 just showed off some individual mechs.
Yeah, it makes you think, where the hell was this team on map 1?
Nicely done from Jack there for 3.
Those are the rounds where they were getting owned, right? Where Loud is just playing slow, contacting around the map with an op, taking picks everywhere they like. Here, C9's actually able to weather it. Nice hold out of Vic there. Jack, I love the way he plays this, crouched on the off angle. And then swings in with his teammate for the last kill. As now we switch over, a timeout for C9. Could just still have to win this map, win this game, if they want to keep those chances likely.
And a little bit more left to be asked of C9. But in a good position this round. Full light armor from Loud on the other side. Loud are taking their time working through mid right now.
Yeah, C9 play heavier on A this time. Just with that passive Sova jiggling in mid.
Yeah, C9 have done a lot of work to play complementary angles and have situations where you can have good swings come in off one another.
It looks like they're almost expecting just a contact out back sight. Players ready to fight either direction here.
Good off angle from Zelsis, though. That's what I'm talking about. And even if he drops, you still have Oxy on the other side. But are you ready for Erde still stepping in? And it's as Erde drops to Oxy, the rest of Loud just seem discombobulated. Kalanzine to get a kill through on Oxy. And now maybe there's something they can play off of. That harbor wall keeping Jack on the opposite side. Gun barrel spotted off of the pull. But Loud are still all on their own, and that's maybe where they thrive. Zeppa pushed into a corner. Luxo shuts him out. All of a sudden, it's C9 with Vic in the clutch.
I can't believe this is winnable for Loud. But the toughest player to go up against, Vic, who has been on fire this game. 13-4, and now a 1-on-2 ahead of him.
Time to play with. But now both sides know what the plan is gonna be, and Luxo just ego peeks him through the molly?
Swinging that alone.
That's disgusting.
This guy's a maniac.
He's actually out of his mind. And yet it works. All right, that's a way to shut down Vic.
This should have been a C9 win, though, in my book. They had such a good readout this timeout. To have 3 players holding A on those great passive angles. And Loud literally walked right in, only for Luxo to get these 3 kills. And bring the round into the fold for Loud.
I mean, you die there, you're getting flamed. Like, why are you stepping through the molly by yourself? But it's exactly what the doctor ordered for Loud to, again, take this advantage.
Like, objectively, it's a bad play.
Yeah. But sometimes that's why it works.
Yeah.
Now, plenty of ultimates at Loud's disposal. Time to just hurl them all at this A site. Maybe a bit of overkill, because the rest of C9 is elsewhere. Not on this site. That's for sure. Zelsis is just trying to stay alive behind the walls. Another ultimate enters the equation.
But they've used everything. Now it's C9's turn to play. They have the ISO ult on this retake, but Loud is up deep behind the Astro wall.
Verdi is in a great spot. The catch, though, might just take away that duelist. So all of a sudden, Oxy has a clear path into the site. Verdi wins the 1v1 in the pit, teleports back into it. It's just madness. No one can see anything. There's smokes, there's ultimates. Verdi is still alive on the other side of Oxy. No one is going to be ready for this ever. It's the sickest play ever. And the rest of Loud stands strong here, shutting down the rest of C9. Jack with 3 on the round, but 3 is all he'll get It is Loud in the lead at the half.
I really need to see how Loud got those early kills. I think it was just them swinging back through these smokes off the timing of that ISO ult and the Neon coming in and getting massively rewarded
and
here.
Because Verdi gets this kill, he snaps back to a position where now he is behind Oxy in a position that Oxy thought he had cleared.
Insane that he's winning that in the ISO ult.
3 gone.
And cleans up this half. 7-5, that's the lead for Loud. Can they close out the series? We'll find out in the second half. Offensive side now. I really look back to Luke Show and to Darker especially. I think we're going to see a lot of rounds where Darker has to anchor alone against a comp that has some really strong execute power. This round, though, falls to that other side. As C9 walk their way up elbow.
Yep, C9 have that Viper wall ready for the B site. It will be Verdi and Luke Show waiting for it. A little bit of a push and pull, but the shoulder was spotted, and Oxy is not going to let you survive off of that one. Luke Show as well. Peppered down to 4 as he eventually drops. C9 still looking dominant on these pistol rounds. I mean, it's been great ever since the start of Split. 3 for 3. And now with a 5-on-2. Ready to make this a perfect 4 for 4 and bring things back to even.
One enemy remaining.
There you
Definitely
go.
been getting that one.
Couldn't ask for anything more there.
Yeah, this is super clean from them. They were coming into this series with the worst pistol round win rate in the league. Like, it was right around 30%. But they're winning them when they matter here in these second 2 maps. So now the game looking to tie up. I will recall that the only reason that the comeback looked possible on Split was Loud winning an Eco Thrifty on round 14 and then starting to snowball that.
Yeah.
But luckily they're on defense this time.
Right, no money from the plant. They're not going to be looking for it. And their backs aren't against the wall either. It's not a must-force type situation.
You aren't down 10-2.
Yeah, things looking a lot nicer here for them. Still up by 1. For now.
Little trap play here.
Yeah, the full stack on A. Poor Vic if he steps into this, but it will mean a free B site.
Toxin screen down.
And nicely done. Oh, wow! Catches Verdi on the slip and slide. Oh, 3-4! Okay, Vic! Why not? He has been unstoppable so far on Breeze.
Yeah, that's normal. Okay. I think he was literally running and stunned when he got that first kill onto the Neon. But the rest of those shots were real clean out of Vic. So the Viper's Pit getting pretty close to coming online, courtesy of his strong start to the half.
So I am curious because this is only our second time seeing the ISO comp
Sure.
come through from Cloud9. They're also playing it with the double walls. What should we be expecting to see through the rest of this attack side for them?
Yeah, I think the big thing to look at is where that undercut is pathing when they go for site execs. Because if you're hitting that onto, for example, the Astra, or on the other side, if it's like a Neon, something like that holding on, you can completely shut down the stall utility that normally gets popped as a reaction. So they'll want to, in a lot of rounds, contact close into space in main. And then, yeah, he was definitely just perfectly played, I suppose.
Remaining.
But you're going to watch him contact up a lot into early space and then use that undercut to fight through and kind of have this 1-2 punch. If the Neon sliding, hey, look at me, well, if you choose to shoot the ISO, guess what? That shield makes him so tough to kill. And then the Neon is able to path in. It's pretty tough to hold. It's really strong for hard execs. A little less good for kind of the slow play stuff that maybe something like that KO is going to be strong for.
Yeah, the weakness is no flashes, right?
Yeah.
You have to get more creative in how you fight past your own walls, your own smokes, your own utility. C9 back to the creep up into elbow. But the concern for them would be if they actually kept going to tunnel. Loud have bodies ready to respond in mid.
Verde's knife would be the difference maker. And he gets 5.
Yeah, it's a massive suppression, but it doesn't really matter because Oxy still gets the first kill. Darker has flooded into the site with some more support behind. And C9 are not in a position to actually plant the spike. They do dodge out some of this utility. They're just waiting for Loud to hurl themselves into their eventual demise.
Yeah, I think they overplayed off that stun a little.
Yeah, now
Even if it connected, it would have been too late to swing there.
and a second layer of utility too, but Luke Show's in front of it. You can't let this round slip away, Luke Show.
You and me.
So 1 kill now brought into the one-on-one. He might like his odds inside this one, and he does. No one supporting him on the other side, so the second he snaps back, he's just a sitting duck. Cowan
30
Zine
seconds left.
has to do something here in the 1-on-3, but the sliding is just too much to deal with. That's 3 in a row here to start the half.
It's so weird that this spike never got planted that round. It looked like we were playing a retake the whole time. Loud, I think, just got ahead of themselves on trying to flood.
Definitely.
I want to see that backside fight again. This is the opener for Moxie, but here they go. Zeppa gets that fight. No one is stunned, and it's just Verdi sliding in completely alone.
Remaining.
And it really doesn't matter that you lose the ISO fight when your number's up and you can just have 2 players holding his body. C9 feeling happy about that one. Now pulling ahead in this game. And Loud's buy looking dismal here.
I mean, it has been C9's attack. That's been their strong side today. Strong versus MIBR as well. Now just throwing the push wall to advance them up the fast lane. Oxy already into this site, shoulder and shoulder with the new duelist on his side in Zeppa. Luke Show, though, sniped someone out with the Sheriff. That keeps C9 at bay for now. The harbor wall is getting real awkward there.
But if you're C9, you just wait out this util and then refight with your advantage.
Oh wow, Zeppa can't see much of anything. Doesn't
no one's
quite matter.
looking.
No one, it doesn't matter, yeah. C9 holding each other's backs. Darker the last one alive here, and Jack with a quick flick will settle the score.
That round got quite silly in the end. Every piece of controller utility used in like maybe 10 total feet of space.
Yeah.
And so through that, C9 just freeze, wait for everything to go down, and Zeppa going uncleared there, I think was the difference between an eco round win and this one not looking doable. Him keeping that pressure up means everyone's head has to snap back to look at him as the players in main are swinging in, and yeah, you see the wince from the coaching booth there at Loud.
I mean, 4 in a row to start the half. All of a sudden, you're now looking at a critical round from Loud. 1 away from Cowan Zine's ultimate, and C9, they're just back into this A site. Already the high tide. Into it as Luke Show just skirts around the corner. Luke Show in a tricky spot, and no one's looking for him. Oxy completely caught off guards. Luke Show holding on to backside control with Verdi. As Verdi goes around the right side, his teammate falls. And now more is necessary from the young duelist.
Spike planted.
Now a pit to block the vision. Oh man, Zeppa finally drops Verdi. Steps even deeper inside of the pit. A 2-on-2 now. Erde. This is a must-win round for Loud. And if it's gonna happen, it's off the back of the rookie. Erde flashed himself into the site. It's a big kill to drop Celsius. Darker is there as well. Loud are right back in this thing.
That was Erde bailing them out. Such a huge kill in that 2v2 to fight back in. Because Loud were, I think, tripping over themselves a little in that team fight again. You saw it get even, and then Verdi is sliding ahead of anyone else. That's all despite of this amazing work that Luke Show did early, catching that timing. But they splash. He's deep pathing onto Celsius. Luke Show knows what that round meant.
Big emotion out of the Loud squad there. Now just trailing by 1. Trying to stabilize their economy a little bit, bounce back after those first 4 in a row.
An ult for Kawa this round to react into a fight, and that fight is brewing towards mid.
Mid pop ready. It's actually Luke Show just on his own. Wanted to take a shot before retreating, but the drone will spoil him. Zeppa pushed away as well. As Luke Show, 2 more players coming his way. Cowan Zine has the support, and that baits out a lot of utility. C9 going to be happy with the start of this round.
Yeah, it never feels good to have to use that high tide to anchor.
Especially as C9 work up into mid.
Look at Darker.
Darker! He gets pinged out twice by it doesn't even matter, the darts, the rest of Loud filter in, wipe the floor with C9.
Last player standing.
And Luke Show drops Vic as well.
These are some messy fights, but Loud keeps finding a bucket to bail themselves out of it.
Yeah, Jack's just wondering what the hell happened in mid. It was over before it even began.
I can't believe Darker lives after whiffing like that. Didn't even get shot once. Luxo takes the bullet for him.
Jack at least claims the orbs. That's a third ult online for the next round. But yeah, the result of that madness in mid is that both teams who came into the round with 2 ults apiece didn't have to commit either of them.
Yep. I do think having the null command actually feels a bit better, though. That ultimate is just so strong as a retake tool. If you get to proc it, can completely nullify a side hit as well.
10 seconds left.
That'll be the game tied up again as Jack waits out his fate on the beach.
Yeah, not the worst place to save for the next round, I guess.
That fight for C9, it really did look promising. When that dart connected onto Darker, they had players in position to trade. I think it came down to those players that were actually coming back through the door from A. I want to see how that transpired again because it really did get chaotic. Here you go. Verdi flashes in, covers for his teammate, and you see that drone coming through at the same time from bottom mid. That and the Hunter's Fury give them this really nice pinch onto C9. So good reactions in the end, as those pop flashes were connecting as well.
That was cool. We saw so many different angles of how that fight went down.
Yeah.
Really clear understanding of how Loud crafted that one up. Can't stop here. C9, back to what had been working for them, the quick A-pops. They've drawn this one up. So they just slide down the fast lane. Luxo pinged up. But backside control does not belong to C9. The kidnap as Zeppa pulls Kaunzin into the arena. Walls come down. It's Kaunzin on top. The champion there. C9 a bit scattered too. Players stuck back in main. As Zelsys evens things at 3 apiece.
Darker got stuck ahead of his team, and this is a 3-on-3 again. Erdeg still has the null command.
Jack low as well. Oh no. The nades too, chipping away at Zelsys. Loud slowly advancing in here. There's a flash on the side. Jack for 2 out of nowhere. Jack delivers for his 2 team. But Kaunzin still in it. Waiting for his moment. Can't pull the trigger too soon, and Vic is there to take C9 to 10.
I'm just looking kind of incredulously at these rounds and how much it is just coming down to extremely chaotic team fights that I don't think have been clean from either squad. Zeppa loses another ISO ult. I feel like the last 3, he's not won it.
It's been a tough day for Zeppa and the ults, but...
Yeah, that 2K from Jack, though, saves him.
Yes! Come on,
Okay.
Jackpot!
I think that's the happiest I've ever seen Emmy.
Yeah.
Cheering
Hyping up
on
the new kid.
lad.
Why not? I mean, Jack is sitting 16 and 10 in his debut here in a tight match. The tightest we've seen. But how much gas is left? Verdi waiting for them. No one ready for it. Verdi and Loud take up 2-1. That spike still out there in the open, and Erde just slides on through. Shut out Vic.
Gotta be clearing that if you're C9.
I mean, there's no way. You just can't do anything. Now you're pinged up on the other side of the wall. Luxo hunting down. We're tied again at 10 apiece.
I think Cloud9 rushing things a little bit there. As that Viper Orb goes down, it almost felt like a miscommunication where no one is actually hard clearing this. You see Zelsys up ahead with the spike, but his teammates are looking the other direction. And with Erde in a great spot top mid, he's played there a lot. And not only is it him swinging in to help these fights, but it's also been a lot of moments where he's just lobbing flashes over to help out. I think he's had a lot of impact in these big brawl rounds.
Definitely. And so C9.
And at the breaking point of their economy.
And they're forcing up for it as well.
This
Choosing
is
to
such
send this.
a risk.
Yeah, it is. Especially the loss bonus hasn't been built up either, so it won't be pretty if this one is not a win for them. And they're heading into so many ultimates as well. C9 risking so much in this, and it's a quick exec on the left-hand side. That's the adaptation. Change the pathing into the site. Luxo, though, will have to be dealt with. Wrapping around from the back. Oxy is there. The plan pays off to perfection. What Amy cooked up there for the team. Now Loud, left grasping at straws. Down a player
Spike planted.
with 3 ults of their own. Birdie throws up the wall, slides straight into Zeppa's waiting arms. This round could not go any worse for Loud. Darka realizing he is getting swarmed, and that's 3 kills in the round for Zeppa.
Amazing work from Zeppa and Oxy. I think that was a full house between the two of them. And yeah, it wasn't a big macro adaptation. It was just how we're pathing, how we're playing the site, right? Instead of doing the close Viper wall, which gives them control backside, you do the incredibly deep one. You use your util to fight through the smokes, and Oxy delivers you a round.
Pretty stuff from him. And that, of course, means that the force pays off big for C9. Finally, some comfort built.
And you see Loud, they're scared of that reset as well. They go half armor on most of their players to ensure a buy in the next.
But Erde is here with a knife and with the ultimate. There are tools to try and shut down this hit, but C9 haven't really cared, even when they have been suppressed. Can still run into the site. Smokes guide their pathway forward.
I think they want to refight up here.
Waiting for the drop of the smokes. See what they have. Wrap around both sides of Pillar. Birdie still alive for now. Birdie for 3. It's massive from the duelist as he slips away onto the back of half wall. Jack and Vic, they're into the site, but the spike is way out in the open.
Yeah, that's in no man's land. They've used the high tide, but it falls before there's time to scale.
Loud have surrendered all the space on site, though. They want this to come down to some time pressure. They want C9 to step out into the open.
And once they do, that triple swing inevitable.
No easy picks being afforded to C9 for now.
This is such an important round for Loud to win.
And that's why they're keeping it so by the books. You have Luke Show and Birdie tucked away. Kalensin just on the jiggle.
30 seconds left.
Standing ahead.
But now, time being whittled away at. Spike finally retrieved. What does it mean? No ultimates to come online with the plant. And now Vic is worried about his back. Birdie, 4 kills. Easy work from Loud to tie things again.
That round is 100% Verdi. It was a stalemate, a 5-1-5 on the site, and he does this. Flicks around for 3 different kills. Impeccable stuff from Verdi.
And he has to get that kill on Oxy quickly, tracking the slide. If he doesn't, he's always getting traded there.
Absolutely. And then Oxy's in this deep position where he can fight up. Instead, the spike falls in no man's land. And they can clean up Verdi. You heard how hyped he was. Oxy's got a bucky on this round.
Yeah, C9 back to the force and back to this B site. This time, though, Loud. They've worked into elbow. Chances for a quick flank. Erde finally rips the null command. But C9 continue their approach. The flash stalls them. Nade is good too as more and more of Loud show up for the fight. Erde goes for it, way out in front. It's repeats of those B rounds before where Loud just get in front of it. And the round falls apart before the spike is even planted. Luke Show continuing some of those shenanigans, tracking up behind his high tide. But Tim against the world at this point. Him and Cow both, it might be enough though. Oh my word. Kalensin now with players low on the other side. That spike still yet to be planted. He can hold his own here. And he has been elite on this map. Kalensin is ridiculous.
That clutch is absolutely everything for Loud. Kalensin, the franchise player. He's been with Loud through the highs, through the lows. And in this match, that means so much for them returning to playoffs. He delivers an amazing Red Bull clutch.
Sitting at 21 kills as his teammates bow down to him. Loud now on series point.
And look at the buy for Cloud9.
Shattered completely. And a technical pause of all things. Some ice here. But if the matches go as expected, this is the one that decides it.
And that would be if G2 wins the upcoming match against Envy. There are 4 teams in this group at 1 and 2, but there's only 1 round to decide how this one goes. Overtime or bust. C9 on a half by Force it A.
And they're heading directly into Kalensin. The Hunter's Fury already primed. Luke Show is cutting them down through the wall. Cloud has a numbers advantage. Jack tries to fire back. some fury of his own. Just some damage to be found as Oxy delivers inside of the smoke. C9 have made a mess of this site with Viper's Pit coming on down. And somehow, Celsius stays alive. Somehow, Oxy's finding another with that shotgun. Numbers for Cloud9. With this high position inside of the pit, it is messy. How do Loud come back in?
Spike is not in the pit, but C9 are here to fight close. This judge could decimate them.
Oxy, full flash, pushed away from the angle. Now Kalanzine blitzes forward to the other side of Pyramid. Celsius is dropped. 3-on-3 now. Oxy has already found 2 into the round. Now the quick slide into third. Still gives his team a shot yet. But the spike, it's not a good plan for them. Vic is down, and it's all on Jack. The new kid on the block cannot find the final bullet. But will there be time? Absolutely. Darker sees it through to take the second win in the series for Loud.
What a performance out of Loud. This series was topsy-turvy. They had the fastest game possible.